Okay, got a file there, okay. So,
But at this point in time, we're not doing a question and answer.
Right, so the only thing we can do is,
It'll be documented,
right,
and it was Melissa and I that called and talked to you on 3 different occasions trying to work this out, because the last thing that we wanted was for your water to be shut off. So we made sure your water did not get shut
yes,
off.
and I greatly appreciate that. And I'm very minimally using it so I can try to get caught up.
Yeah.
I guess if it's something that we're gonna reconsider, it would have to be put on the next agenda to talk about.
Next month, is that?
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to decide whether you wanna put it on the agenda to bring it up, if there's something else for us to discuss.
Well, I guess I'll take a minute and talk about it. Melissa and I contacted her on 3 different occasions. We spoke with the Department of Water and Sewer on 3 different occasions. We did a little bit of research. It did not have her home exemption on the house. And so that's where the muddy water comes in. Because without having it as listed as a primary residence, then, you know, we don't know.
Right, I'm still trying to get those forms.
Yeah, so, so with that in mind, we took the bill, we actually went from 6 months to 10 months, and that's what we felt, because either way, we're still paying as a township, it's costing us money, and we mentioned the resources that possibly could have helped, but when we finally came up with, because we wanted to make sure it was a dollar amount that would even be somewhat doable, because before at 6 months it was a lot higher. So
okay, well, I didn't actually move into the house till October-ish.
Correct.
Maybe November, you know, so.
Yeah, it said like October 6th the water, or October 10th that water was put in your name. So as a board, when we voted and we made the decision to make sure your water didn't get shut off, but at the same time put up the payment amount, and the payment amount was $175 a month for 10 months, and that'll clear the balance on the account. With you already putting a principal payment down, because the water department told me you had paid 1 payment for $360 already. So that's how we came up with, and
So, can I ask you a question? If the water went under the house and not in the drain, how is that costing you money? I don't understand that part.
well, actually it was 180,000 gallons of water.
Yeah, but, I mean,
You know,
it was all over the place.
But the big thing, and like I did share with you, last year there were businesses shut down and they still had to pay their sewer charge, even though they were shut down. Because there's a sewerage assessment, and, you know, the system, we don't know what did or what did not when the system broke. We know 180,000 didn't go down the sewer pipe. We know that. But that would all depend too, because I haven't been there, I don't know. If you had a sub pump and you have your sub pump hooked to your drain, then actually all 180,000 gallons may have went into the sewer pipe. I don't know that. So that was how we came up with, you know, and the water department thought we were being more than generous. So that was how we came up with an answer to make sure that you could, you know, have services.
Right, my question to them was, why are we so behind on the smart meters? Because I'd have known long before that, if it's running up that much water, you know. Instead of spending 400,000 on a seawall, maybe we should put it in smart meters.
Well, that's a whole different topic.
Oh, okay.
So, thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
My name is Martin Hogan, and together with my wife Jeannie, we live at 885 South Linwood Beach Road in Linwood. I want to thank you for this opportunity to present this evening. And we want to bring forward not a personal concern, but a community concern regarding South Linwood Beach Road from the intersection of Galtel Road south to the county pump station. The road is being undermined by the poor drainage, which creates a safety issue for the community. We have provided a number of photos for you, so you can see the water, ice, and mud levels firsthand. In all four seasons, the water creates a safety concern and potential danger for runners, bikers, walkers, and cars. Our neighbors and visitors alike will not drive their electric vehicles over the water created by the lack of drainage. In the fall, both my wife and I slipped and fell on our backsides in the mud as we were going out to the mailbox. My wife hit the back of her head on the road. In the summer, during a light rain, enough water will gather so cars, bikers, walkers, and strollers have to go around the water, again, creating a safety risk. This past summer, a woman was riding her bike around the water on the grass, placing her out of sight of a young driver who was backing out of a driveway. He didn't see her and hit the biker, forcing her to the ground, causing injury and damaging her bike. There are many other near misses, and a warning needs to be given and something needs to be done. On the behalf of our neighborhood community, I'm here to be on the record to say that our road has reached a critical deterioration point due to lack of drainage and is not safe. Something's bad is going to happen, and we are asking you to please help us to keep our community safe. We truly appreciate your time and listening to us. We were not formally on the agenda, but we do appreciate your time and support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 236 South Huron. I want to go back to the zoning. I don't even know who the zoning is or what their responsibility is. But as I recall, a year or two ago, the board talked to about 2 or 3 properties on the west side of Huron, just north of Cottage Grove. And if I recall, I think the township paid to have some of that cleaned up. It is a mess. I think it's getting worse. And I don't know if there's any, like, I wish I was thinking when we read the zoning report, or if the zoning guy was around and gave a report like Chief does, we know what was happening.
Well, just so everybody understands, believe it or not, we have ordinances here in the township, but the township board can't write a complaint. It has to come from the people. So the house she's talking about at 465 or 645?
No, 465.
All right.
We fixed it.
We did clean it up. There was 4 40-yard dumpsters come out of that yard. And yes, she is correct, it's back in shape, but until somebody writes a new complaint about it, I can't do anything about it. Right now, we are working on other blight in the township, but I was
The zoning
hoping,
administrator doesn't go around and look if there's a problem to address
it doesn't matter, he can't write a report. We can't write reports. We can't write a complaint, I should say, not a report. He can write a report, but not a complaint.
Well, can you take any action without?
Well, I did ask our attorney if we could work off our previous complaint, but it's gotta start all over once the judge wraps his gavel for us, so. We are working on it.
Who is the zoning administrator?
Fred Schmidt.
He's not elected, right? How does he get his job?
He's appointed.
By,
He,
okay, so he has to see, but you can't tell me if he can, I mean, if he sees the problem, he can't do anything without a report, or can he?
it's not the report, it's the
Or, I mean,
complaint.
a complaint.
It's the complaint. We have to have a valid complaint. It's
He
just
has
the
no-
rules.
He can't do anything without a complaint, is that?
Well, you can stop and talk to the people, but you can't do anything about it.
Okay.
And most of these people is not their first rodeo, so they know.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody
And how do you
else?
file a complaint?
Well, we have a form here, you just fill it out.
Okay.
Brad Eddy, 1890 South Huron Road. Again, I have had a complaint from the township against my family and myself without a complaint filed. You know, Sam, it was from one of your friends, Mr. Whelan. It's a friend and family thing with the zoning, it seems like. I called the zoning administrator this week. Actually, Shirley did for me, and she handed me the phone. I wanted to bid the blight cleanup. I have left messages with the zoning administrator, multiple. He has never gotten back with me. He's probably gotten with you, but nobody's provided me the information to bid on it. There's more on this zoning report that Shirley printed. And, and the other thing about this is this private road drainage issue. Is that the Wheeland Road that this guy's working on? Well, you'd have to know. You're the boss. You hired him. I think there's a lot of ignorance that goes into the zoning administrator position. Why isn't he here? Why isn't he at a meeting?
This was a road down here across the, it's a private drive that goes out to 3 houses. And the complaint was the water was running off the road to a house up by M13. But the guy was also complaining about the water coming off M13 into his driveway. Well, I mean, it was just a case of, it's a private road, so the people back there have to work it out together.
Okay, well, I have drainage issues also due to a private road. They got put in with no permits. And you have the electrical inspector here who actually allowed all of the illegal power poles to go through that property. There's power going both up and down. There's no permits for any of it. I don't see any of that on here, and I brought it up. So, is this just selective enforcement by the supervisor?
There's actual litigation going on between you and the township, so we're not going to talk about it.
So you cover for the Whelans in that time? I mean, that's what this is all
today,
about.
I heard that they're part of the litigation, so yeah, probably.
So you would be covering for them? Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
just
feel
saying
you were
they're part
putting
of
in
your
office
litigation, so.
for. Well, my uses as a junkyard, sir, are part of the litigation, and you guys haven't given me a dealer's license that my family's had since 1963. I mean, it seems a little hypocritical.
Talk about the litigations here, please.
Well, I'm talking about complaints, valid complaints. Do you have a complaint from Mr. Whelan against me that the township brought the litigation against me for? It wasn't valid.
We should ask the attorneys, they have all the information.
You have privileged information from the attorneys. You go from the attorneys to the Whelans.
No, I don't.
Oh,
The attorneys have their own, Whelans have their own, we have our own, you have your own.
and you all work together.
And your 3 minutes is close to up.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else, public input?
In consideration for the clerk's position, I am giving you all my resume. I see that he's retiring, so
Anybody else for public input?
Good evening.
oh, I'm sorry. Do you?
I know who you are, but.
I'm sorry. Lisa York, 2890 2 Mile Road, Bay City.
Scott Shafransky, Linwood Beach Marina, 135 South Linwood Beach Road. Just wanted to attend the meeting and stay on top of the Linwood Elite Resort development, proposed development, and to kind of keep our concerns on the table, mainly parking and overdevelopment in our mind. Not to be anti-development, but the plan as we see it now just has some problems, so I'm sure there'll be meetings to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for public input?
Yeah, I wanna say one thing.
Yeah.
I forgot to. It's very important. Two of our firefighters have been promoted to lieutenant's positions. So, one female, one male, and we'll be putting them through classes, so.
What are their names?
Amy Schulk and Chris Bouchard.
Anybody else for public input? Hearing none, we'll move on. We don't have any unfinished business. So, new business. We have received the retirement from Greg Petermo, that he retired on April 30th. 2023 was his last day. So I'll make a motion to accept his retirement letter.
I'll second it.
We'll do a roll call on that.
DeShano?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes?
Platt?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Then obviously the township needs a clerk to pay bills, and I feel that the most qualified person would be the deputy clerk to finish out the term, which is only about 18 months. Obviously, about a year from now, they'd have to run, because their 2024 is the end of his term. So,
I'd like to make a comment. And I've worked with Sherrie, and she does a good job. That's not my problem. My problem is, these people elected 5 people to represent them. That came into this office, and you did not show or share. I was in this office every day last week, and you could not tell me that our clerk had resigned, or retired, not resigned, sorry. I'm sorry, but I take that rather personal. That's a rather major issue, because when the clerk retired, then the deputy's done.
according to the MTA,
MCL 4169. Right there it is.
according to the MTA, when I talked to them, the clerk's position is open until we accept his letter of resignation. So technically, the position stayed, he was active, in fact, he was here probably up pretty close to the 30th, every day. And
I'm not questioning that. What I'm questioning is, when you saw me last Monday and we sat down and talked, you couldn't say, you know, Greg's pending retirement? The only people.
Honestly, I think it's been pending for like years.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't know till I got the letter. I mean, there's been talk on and off for the last year that he wasn't, now he is, now he isn't.
The deputy serves at the pleasure of the person that holds the office.
And he held the office till about 5 minutes ago.
Well, technically, according to that letter, he held the office till the 30th day of April. Right there in writing says April 30th. Yes, until 5 seconds ago, technically. But the moral of the story is, you can't tell us that we had a retirement take place until all of a sudden I was here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday I came through and there was nothing out there in that box until when I came back after hours. No, just before, because I talked to Sherrie.
That's right, because you guys have until Wednesday night at 5 o'clock to put something on the agenda.
It was Tuesday.
So,
It has to be by
when did you get this
Tuesday.
paper?
I probably got it on the 30th. In fact, I think it was Monday, I have to look at the date. It was hand delivered to me.
That's the point. Point and check.
I think it was on
Because you had plenty of opportunity to share that with other elected officials. And you
I think
chose
it was
not
Monday,
to.
May 1st. Is the day I got it.
So that's not right. And that, it's all part of being able to communicate so that everybody knows what's happening. So that,
But you knew Thursday what's happening. But what would have changed between the 1st and the 5th? Or
well, you know something, we could have had a 24-hour meeting, and technically Sherrie could have been put in, and then there would have been no gap, according to the numbers.
he could have put May 30th on it too.
But he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He put April 30th. And this is not the only time that this kind of thing happens. And all I'm saying is, we would appreciate, you have a phone, we pay $375 for the phones in there. If you're not gonna use them, take them out. You should tell people what's going on in this township. And yeah, that upsets me. And for every reason.
So the most qualified person, in my opinion, to take over this position for the next 18 months until the election in 2024 would be the deputy clerk.
Okay, well, since we're just now finding out for sure that that's who you're going to appoint, since there was absolutely nothing in the packets that became available on Thursday confirming who you were planning to appoint, I've got some questions to ask of Sherrie. An interview of candidates is supposed to happen in an open meeting, which is what we have here right now. All right, you ready? I know you weren't expecting it. As you contemplate this potential appointment and having nearly a year since you were installed as deputy clerk, what are your top 3 goals in this position?
Try to keep peace to start with. I may not do that. My job, to start with, pay the bills, do the payroll, answer people's questions, do what I'm supposed to do.
Again, since you've been in for almost a year, what changes would you propose?
Well, I haven't had any time to get anything like this prepared.
Well,
Then why are you asking?
we hadn't, because we
If
have
you
the
know
right.
you're just,
Yeah, no, we have the
brain.
right to interview, and we just found out that she was the appointee.
well, you've got all your questions, so you
Well,
obviously knew.
because
You
I
didn't
had
share
to
those
interview.
with her either.
On Thursday, she knew.
I didn't know for sure that that's who you were going to appoint.
Did you ask?
I did. Are you serious right
Sam,
now?
if I ask you a question, you send me condescending comments. Why would I ask you a question like that? And why would you not put in a packet if, she's.
I didn't even have to put in the packet that we're gonna appoint a clerk, according to our attorney. So,
Well, we need to have a clerk, because we need to be able to conduct the business of the people.
that is correct.
So, that's short-sightedness on your part, not to say, I received a resignation and I suggest that we do this.
I think Lisa Urick, since she put her resume in tonight, she should certainly be in an open interview tonight as well.
She a Caucalla resident?
Yes, I am.
But you just said you were from Bay City.
That's right, but I'm at the southeast end of the Caucalla Township.
So she should be considered in an open interview this evening as well.
I don't, it's my opinion that she wouldn't be the most qualified, but I guess,
What qualifications are we looking for?
probably somebody that knows what's going on in the township and how to run township business.
Well, it appears that Sherrie's been trained